What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince and I'm an urban acolyte. Yo, I just got home from seeing Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and this is going to be my spoiler-free review of the movie. So, I don't want to beat around the bush with y'all. I was asked to sum up my feelings with one word earlier today, and my one word was satisfying. I felt satisfied with the answers we received regarding a number of things that have been discussed online since we came out of seeing The Force Awakens 4 years ago back in 2015. I mean, it's been a wild, crazy ride from start to finish, and I feel like things have ended on a pretty good note. So I would say that I feel pretty satisfied with how things ended in the Skywalker saga. Now, I'm not going to get into spoilers at all, but I will say this. Look, if you're a fan of the things that I really talk about on my channel, then you will enjoy this movie a lot if you pay close attention. Look, the Reylo thing was addressed in a way that I found very satisfying. And y'all know that I've not really been a fan of Reylo. Even though a recent Star Wars novel, Resistance Reborn, gives a definitive answer on the Finn, Rose, Rey little love triangle, look, we get a satisfying answer about Finn and Rey's relationship. And I hope this doesn't give anything away, but as Kathleen Kennedy said, there are plans to further develop the stories of Finn, Rey, and Poe Dameron for the next 10 to 15 years, or at least there were plans. Things can change. I mean, it's possible that one or more of the new big three heroes die in this movie, but I can neither confirm nor deny that anybody dies. You'll just have to wait and see for yourself. But as I was saying, if there are plans for these characters in the future, I hope the relationship that the movie establishes between Finn and Rey is further developed. So be sure to check the video I posted a few weeks back about a possible book about Finn that may be coming in the near future, written by Jason Fry. I'll just say after seeing The Rise of Skywalker that I hope the things that I mentioned in that video really do play out. Okay, I'm going to talk about what I really liked about this movie first before I move on to the things that I kind of didn't like. I mean, first, I'll make a joke and I'll say that a whole lot of stuff that Mike Zero said actually does happen in The Rise of Skywalker. Now, the problem is that Mike Zero says some of everything, and I'm not going to be specific at all about what he said that is in the movie, because truth is, I don't watch his channel. I just heard about stuff that he said that would be in The Last Jedi, and some of that actually did make it into 9. And well, since he says some of everything, well, we'll just say that a lot of the stuff Zero said is in the movie, and a whole lot of stuff that Zero said ain't in the movie. But for real, like I said, this does pay fan service in that it answers a lot of questions, but some of those answers aren't completely satisfying, and they raise even more questions. I'll be a bit specific here and say that if you're going to go into this movie looking for definitive answers about Palpatine or Snoke, you're probably not going to find those answers here. The novel coming in the spring could go into more detail, but I think that the Kylo Ren comic book series about Kylo Ren joining the Knights of Ren might actually provide more answers about Snoke's background. The first one did. To be honest, those things aren't actually important to this story, and I have to wait until I can post a spoiler review to tell you guys why. Either that or I might just have to make a separate video on that topic. But if there's anything that I had a fear of going into this movie, it was that it might try to do too much with the storytelling. I mean, there are a lot of loose ends to tie up when you think about wrapping up a 9-movie story that has lots and lots of moving parts to it. Now, I don't want to get carried away. The things that I really liked in this one are the fast pace and the action. I don't know if there's any other Star Wars movie in the Skywalker saga that moves at a pace like this movie did. And if there is, I would have to say that The Force Awakens felt the most like this movie. And I mean, that movie's also directed by J.J. Abrams. And The Force Awakens was meant to be a sprint from start to finish. But this movie, it kind of had more of like a Rogue One feel to it. And what I'm saying there will totally make sense after you see the movie. Also, I mentioned the action. This seems like it has the most action of any Star Wars Skywalker saga movie. There's a lightsaber fight or a big shootout in every single act from start to finish. And it almost felt like some of the martial arts films that I watch, where the action is what drives the story and the talking is just so that people can catch a break from all the fighting and the running that they're doing. Now, the lightsaber fights are much improved over the previous 2 installments, but there's a story reason for that because, Rey has actually had time to train as a Jedi as opposed to the previous 2 movies where she was relying on her own skills that she developed with her staff back on Jakku. Rey is really amazing in this movie, and JJ didn't lie when he said that Rey would display a host of new abilities not previously seen. Actually, she and Kylo Ren both displayed some new abilities, or maybe they improved an ability from The Last Jedi. You'll just have to wait and see how that one plays out. But okay, I'm going to mention the things that I did not like because one of them did have to do with the action after I just praised it. Just looking on the surface, I never felt like Rey was as strong as Kylo Ren. Now, there are some story things, some story reasons that are going on there that I'll talk about in my full review. But if you just look on the surface, it always felt or looked like Kylo Ren was kind of toying with Rey, and Rey was sort of like showing off, but she wasn't actually doing anything. It's like that person on the basketball court and they do like 8 different kind of crossover moves, but in the end of the day, they're still standing in the same spot. Now, I know there's a story reason for why this happens that I want to discuss later in my full review, but it's something that really stuck out to me. I don't know, maybe as a martial arts person, and I kind of have an interest in fight choreography, I might have been looking at the fights between Rey and Kylo Ren a little bit too hard. But even still, they are some really good fights. And I don't want to take anything at all away from Daisy and Adam and the stunt crew that put those fight scenes together because they really are good. The other thing that I personally did not like was this movie didn't have the depth that The Last Jedi had, in the sense that we didn't really get this deep understanding or these deep messages about the Force. Something I never took time to talk about in The Last Jedi that it absolutely nailed was the feeling a person has when they're undergoing a spiritual awakening. The scenes with Rey and Luke on Ahch-To were very moving, and that's the reason that I love The Last Jedi so much. And if you're not really a spiritual person, or if you haven't yet experienced that feeling, I don't expect you to understand or agree with me, and it's not something that I can convince people about unless they have been through that experience. But either way, I tweeted that to Ryan Johnson. It earned a like, so maybe he appreciated a positive comment. I don't know. That might have not have been what he was going for at all. But there's not anything like that in The Rise of Skywalker. And don't get me wrong, there is a deep message to this movie. There's a spiritual character, and there's a message here that someone can actually take to heart. There are elements of the hero's journey here for a number of characters that we've discussed over the last 4 years. And I want to look into their paths in more depth in some other videos over this holiday season. But I don't know if y'all can tell by the video, but I actually really did enjoy this movie. Even though it doesn't explore these deep spiritual ideas the way The Last Jedi did, my head is buzzing right now with topics that I really want to cover over the next few days. So stay tuned for those videos. I'm hoping to get some stuff set up to get a new studio here in our condo, but it's going to take some time to get everything ordered and get it all set up right. So I really do appreciate y'all who are sticking it out right now. There's some really cool stuff I want to cover, so it'll be worth the wait. Just be patient, and that's something I'm having to learn after moving to the other side of the world. But the last thing that I want to say that is y'all get out and see this movie. Don't bootleg it. Don't stay home. Get out and see it. If you're a big fan of this channel and the stuff that I talk about in Star Wars, the way I talk about Star Wars, I think you really will enjoy The Rise of Skywalker. But y'all, that's all I got to say for this one. I was satisfied with how things ended, and I'm optimistic for the future of Star Wars. Now, I don't have a question that I really want to ask right now because, I'm going to be honest, I'm afraid that anything else that I say, I'm going to end up dropping a really big spoiler for the movie. But hey, let me know whatever your thoughts are or what I've shared down in the comments below, and I'll be checking back to see what you all had to say. And if you haven't subscribed already, hey, go ahead, click that subscribe button so that you can take your first steps towards becoming an urban acolyte. Embark on the journey to become the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. Hey, if you want to support the channel, you can share this video with your friends who are interested in Star Wars Episode 9 and let them know that some of us love the movie, even if the cool thing these days is to hate on Star Wars. Also, hey, be on the lookout for my coverage of Ip Man 4 over the holiday season. This will probably be the last time that I cover a martial arts movie on this channel, because I'm really thinking about starting a brand new channel that'll be just for martial arts movies. But as far as Ip Man 4, Well Go USA gave me permission to post a trailer, and they've gifted me a press copy of the movie to post a review as soon as I get it. So for those of you who only care about Star Wars, yo, look, I do other stuff. Like, have you checked out my vlog where I'll be posting most of the real life Jedi videos? It's called My Name is Prince. Hey, it's cool if you only care about Star Wars, but I gotta promote myself at all times because no one else will if I don't. But okay, that's all I got for this video. Hey, y'all go out and see Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, okay? And y'all keep on breathing. May the force of others be with you, always.